Alright guys, WalkingPed93 here, and today I have a cold. It's that dreaded time of year where the nights are drawing in, the days are shorter and the weather's colder. But moving on swiftly, I wanted to talk in this video about a few things happening on the battlefield regarding future DLCs and the upcoming November patch. As we all know, the first two maps and all the weapons from the Turning Tides DLC are currently live for testing in the CTE. These maps are Akibaba and Cape Hells from the Gallipoli campaign, and these maps will both make up one of the future operations. They will be playable in December along with the new weapons and a new elite class, the Infiltrator. This class will have the ability to place a spawn beacon down and will focus on stealth. With that as its intended playstyle, I would hope that it will be equipped with the silenced M1903 and M1911 from the single player. I think that would be an interesting take on how elite kits are used. Typically, you tend to try hard with them and try and go for as many kills as you can, but if a kit has a focus on stealth, then I can see some Dishonored moments to be had sneaking around behind enemy lines. The second part of the DLC will be released in January, and this will include the final two maps, Heligoland Bight and Zeebrugge, along with the British Royal Marine faction, and two new playable vehicles, the L-Class Destroyer and the C-Class Airship. Both of these vehicles will have 4 seats, and I can see them functioning similarly to Battlefield 4's attack boat and transport helicopter respectively. I get the sense at this point that DICE are trying really hard to translate modern land, air and sea combat to the World War I setting. Each DLC has been giving the classes more automatic weapons, and overall the game just feels a bit more familiar with previous Battlefield games with the previous DLC releases. I do think it's an interesting decision to split the release of Turning Tides in two. The optimist in me wants me to think that this is EA testing the water for the free DLC model similar to what Battlefront 2 is going to have, but then the cynic in me tells me it's just a business decision to try and get more players to buy premium while it's on sale over the Christmas period. Something else I want to touch on is the November patch. Now, I'm not going to sit here and list off all the patch notes, but there are a few that take my interest. First off, if you spawn in on a squad mate who is in a gas grenade cloud, you will now spawn in with your gas mask already on. We've all been there, you've spawned in, and with no prior warning, you're already taking damage. This puts you at a massive disadvantage, as chances are you're already down to 70% health by the time you get your mask on. This is a good quality of life change in my eyes, but I think a small UI change to tell you you're spawning into a gas cloud would be a good further improvement. All 5 medals will now be tracked at once. Most of the medals require you to play in very particular playstyles, using specific weapons and playing on certain maps and modes. I've not put too much focus into the medals. I think I only have about 3 or 4, and I'm fairly sure that they are all by accident. It does boggle the mind as to why it's taken a year to make this improvement, one that the community has been asking for a while now, pretty much since launch. It would have been so much better to see this patch at the start of the year, or at least before They Should Not Pass was released. Finally, scouts will now get 2 tripwire bombs instead of just 1. This will massively help those players who need to get those dreaded 15 kills for the Mosin-Nagant marksman, and then the further 25 kills for one of the service assignments. Even after players have completed these requirements, I think tripwire bombs are going to be used a lot more often than they were before. Their most recent damage buff to do 80 damage, and now the increased capacity means that scouts will have a far more potent defensive gadget in the tripwire bomb than they did before. So like I said, I wasn't about to list off the full patch notes, but I have covered the ones that I think will change my game and the way I play the most. But what I want the most is the big time to kill buff. It's there in the CTE, and it just gives the game a more fluid feel and puts the gunplay back in line with previous games in the series. I now hope it will come with the Turning Tides DLC, as fresh maps and weapons along with the new gunplay mechanics will really help to market the game to jaded players. So that's all for this video guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video then by all means leave a like and a comment. If you didn't you can dislike, I don't mind. Think about subscribing while you're down there, and I'll see you in the next one.